Although some people are taking Will Smith's side after his insane slap at the Oscars, most of the world is still standing behind Chris Rock. Specifically, many comedians have come out against Smith. Let's get into the top 10 celebrities that defended Chris Rock Part 2. In at number 10, Joe Rogan. Since Joe Rogan started out as a comedian before becoming a huge podcaster, he's a special place in his heart for comedians, and he made his anger towards Will Smith well known on his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. On the episode while talking about the slap, he said, quote, "It sets a terrible precedent in so many different ways. It sets a terrible precedent for comedy clubs. Like, are people going to decide to go up on stage now and smack a comedian?" Rogan also said that the joke was, quote, "the most mild of a joke," and did not warrant that kind of a response. Finishing off his statements, Rogan said, quote, "He's so goddamn famous and so removed from regular discourse and interaction with regular people that he, for whatever reason in his head, acted like he's a character in a movie." Rogan has been coming after Hollywood elites for some time now, so it makes sense that he would stand with Rock in this matter. In at number 9, Jeff Ross. Comedian Jeff Ross, known for his appearances on most Comedy Central celebrity roasts, supported Chris Rock after the altercation. In an Instagram post, Ross wrote, quote, "I worship Chris Rock. I cried when I saw Smith attack him because I was watching my idol live out a comedian's worst nightmare on live television. Rock should get a Nobel Peace Prize for keeping his hands down and not escalating the situation. Class act. If Jada wasn't feeling the jokes, Smith should have put his arm around her and let Rock finish." Jeff Ross also shared his take on the joke being distasteful because Jada suffers with alopecia, finishing, quote, "Anyway, I also have alopecia. It sucks. But when people make jokes, I laugh because it's light." Since Jeff Ross is known for savagely roasting celebrities, it makes sense he would be concerned about this overreaction from Smith. In at number 8, James Corden. James Corden hilariously mocked the incident when he performed a parody on his show called We Don't Talk About Jada. The song was a play on the viral track We Don't Talk About Bruno from the Disney movie Encanto. In the parody, Corden and his writers trying to come up with a skit for the next day's show, but of course they can't talk about Jada or they're gonna get a smack from Will Smith. After the hilarious bit, Corden took a moment to praise Chris Rock for his response to the smack, saying, quote, "Seriously though, I applaud Chris Rock for recovering, keeping the show moving. It was an incredibly dignified response. I'll say this, Will Smith can't take a joke, Chris Rock can take a punch." In at number 7, Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell is another celebrity that praised Chris Rock for keeping it together after the shocking slap. O'Donnell tweeted, quote, "Upsetting on every level. Bravo to Chris Rock for not eviscerating Will Smith, which he could do any day of the week. He walked away. Bravo from a sad display of toxic masculinity from a narcissistic madman. Hashtag Oscars 2020, hashtag Chris Rock." In at number 6, Whoopi Goldberg. The View host had a lot to say after the slap heard around the world, because Whoopi has hosted the Oscars 4 times in the past and knows exactly what the job entails. Goldberg praised Rock for his restraint and not making the situation even worse than it was. However, Goldberg tried to see both sides of the situation and tried to highlight what she believed Will Smith's mindset was at the time, saying, quote, "I think it was a lot of stuff probably built up. I think Smith overreacted. I think he had one of those moments where it was like, God, just stop. I get it. Not everyone acts the right way. We'd like them to act under pressure." And he snapped. Whoopi also added that he will not be losing his Oscar, but some other punishment will be given. Quote, "We're not going to take that Oscar from him. There will be consequences, I'm sure, but I don't think that's what they're going to do. Particularly because Chris said, listen, I'm not going to press any charges." However, if Chris had decided to press charges, things might have been a lot worse for Smith. Halfway number 5, Jim Gaffigan. Jim Gaffigan not only defended Chris Rock, but his comparison actually got him in some trouble. Gaffigan initially tweeted, quote, "I'm still disgusted. We don't deserve the brilliance of Chris Rock. When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Donald Trump and Will Smith." Comparing Will Smith to Donald Trump was widely condemned by people online, with many thinking Will's one slip-up is nothing compared to Trump's track record with feuds. Gaffigan later deleted that tweet and followed up clarifying, quote, "Okay, bad comparison on my part. I was trying to make a point, but it doesn't matter. FYI, I didn't think the joke was brilliant. I said Chris Rock is brilliant. I still do, and we don't deserve his brilliance. Please continue to defend assault. It says so much." In at number 4, Whitney Cummings. Whitney Cummings is another comedian that came to the defense of Chris Rock, not only supporting him as a colleague, but supporting his right to make jokes in this day and age. At first, Whitney made light of the situation, tweeting, quote, "Feels like that exchange should have been a DM." She followed it up with a more serious tweet the next day, writing, quote, "I mean, it's amazing that Twitter attacking comedians for making jokes here about last night don't see that they're doing the same shit Will did last night. When people take jokes literally, society is just over." And at number 3, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel is another late night host that came to the defense of Chris Rock. While Kimmel was talking about the incident, he said that Rock, quote, "handled this about as well as you could handle being slapped on the stage at the Oscars." He added, quote, "He didn't even flinch when Will Smith slapped him. I would have been crying so hard." Kimmel added that the wildest part was that Will Smith was initially seen laughing, but he later changed his mind after seeing what Jada thought of the joke. Kimmel joked, quote, "Even Kanye was like, you went on stage and you did what in an award show?" Kimmel also joked that before the event, not one person would have predicted that G.I. Jane would have been the most controversial movie of the year. Quote, "This was the Hollywood version of your drunk uncle starting a fight, ruining the wedding, then standing up and giving a long toast to the bride and groom." In at number 2, Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is known for being outspoken on celebrity culture, so it's no shock that he had a strong opinion of the Will Smith slap. Morgan tried to put the celebrity feud into perspective and compared the reaction to the slap to the reaction of the Ukrainian invasion. Morgan said, quote, "Fascinating to see many people on here furiously demanding more draconian action against Will Smith for slapping Chris Rock than they've demanded against Vladimir Putin for launching war against a whole country. Hashtag perspective." From that, it seemed like he didn't take a specific side in the incident. While speaking with Tucker Carlson, Morgan stated that Chris Rock most likely had no idea that Jada suffered from alopecia, with Piers adding that if he had known that, no way Rock would have said the joke. Adding, quote, "Will Smith, I think, thought that Chris Rock did know that his wife had that condition and was deliberately mocking it. I can kind of sympathize with both guys, but I don't agree with you, Tucker. I don't think it was fake. I don't think these guys were acting. I think it was the real deal." And finally, at number 1, Tim Allen. Actor and comedian Tim Allen also condemned the slap, calling it, quote, "not okay regardless of the setting." After the incident, he tweeted, quote, "It's not okay to come up on stage and hit a dude because you don't like the humor. It's not okay at a comedy club, concert hall, or hosting some cheeseball award show. Chris Rock is a stand-up comedian and a stand-up guy who carried on. I think I would have run." And even though that opinion has become pretty popular, Allen still got some pushback in the replies. The top reply read, quote, "It's also not okay to make jokes about a woman's health condition and expect her husband to not stand up for her. This would have happened anywhere and the spectators would have been on the side of the man who stood up for his wife." So that's all for the list. Let me know your thoughts below. Before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from celebrities who tried to warn us about the Smith family. Jake said, "Much respect for doing this report in a single hiccup included take. Well done." So after I saw that, I had to go through the replies, and someone actually put a timestamp where you could hear me like talking and then I hiccup, and then Drew Zampino was married to Will Smith before he and Jada got married. I continue, and so that wasn't taken out by the editors. Honestly, like, I find that stuff really funny, so thank you for being lighthearted about it. Then Vanessa said, "I'd like to see the rule book on what cheating entails when you're separated to fully understand." I completely agree. Like, they say they're in an open relationship and then Jada cheated and Will was really mad about it. Like, I'm not understanding where the cheating really happened. An Irish Texan said, "It always has to be about Jada. Even on Will's biggest night, she couldn't let him have that." I completely agree. That is what I feel is like the toxic part of their relationship, is that everything has to be about her, even though it was literally, yeah, like the biggest night of his life, the night he was, you know, favored to win an Oscar, and then she comes in and ruins it and gets him banned for 10 years. Obviously it was his action, but clearly that's their dynamic, that he needs to step up for her or she will be very mad. Alright guys, that is all for the video today. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith, and we'll catch you in the next one.